Welcome to the Switch Virtual Interface lab. We're using Switch Virtual Interfaces for our inter-VLAN routing. You can see the gateways we have for VLAN 10, which we're going to be dropping our PCs in, and VLAN 20 on the bottom. We're using Packet Tracer again, and in the middle we've got our multi-layer switch because I wanted to demonstrate some commands that you would be using on a multi-layer switch. You shouldn't be testing on multi-layer switches in the CCNA exam because it's not in the syllabus. However, then Cisco do reserve the right to ask you whatever they feel like asking in the exam if you check their terms and conditions. So I've logged onto the command line for our multi-layer switch. So this is layer 3 capability as well as your layer 2 which you get with your 2960. It's a 3560 model. Now the commands that you're going to be configuring here will look familiar, but then there's another line that you have to enter because it's a layer 3 switch. So I'm creating VLAN 10 and I've just created VLAN 20 also. Exit out of there and I use the interface range macro to save a lot of time and typing. Very handy command this. And I have to add the switch port command, which is designated to the switch that this is used as a layer 2 interface. If I wanted to use it as a layer 3 interface and actually put an IP address on it, I would type the no switch port command, press enter and then type an IP address. Indicated it's an access port and I want it to be in VLAN 10. Or both ports to be in VLAN 10. I'm going to do the same thing now with Fast Ethernet 3 to 4, but this will be in VLAN 20. Now obviously we've enabled the layer 2 part of the configuration now, but the two VLANs still need a layer 3 capability in order to speak to one another, and this is where our switch virtual interfaces will come in. I've typed interface VLAN 10 and added an IP address to this switched virtual interface, so you can't actually point to it or see it anywhere on the switch, but it does exist on the switch configuration. Now for VLAN 10 I need to choose an IP address in the same subnet as the hosts that are in VLAN 10 and the same for VLAN 20. And then the layer 3 capabilities of the switch will enable the routing, the layer 3 communication between the two VLANs. Now I have missed a command off here which I'll demonstrate when we can't get a ping to work between the two VLANs. I'll demonstrate why that happened and what we need to add. Show VLAN brief will show us the two VLANs that have been configured and which ports are in those VLANs. Show IP interface brief will show us all our Fast Ethernet interfaces, and then also when I press the spacebar we'll see our two switch virtual interfaces here. Alright, so I'm on PC 0, which is 10.10.10.10 I believe. And I'm going to ping the next door PC on the same VLAN, which as long as our layer 2 switching functionality is working, which it is, you can see that's worked correctly. But now I'm going to ping across the VLAN from VLAN 10 to a device on VLAN 20 and it won't work. Now, this is a command I mentioned was missing off the layer 3 switch, the multi-layer switch. And it's easy to miss this command off because it's on by default on routers, which we probably spend more time configuring, and the command is IP routing. This enables layer 3 capability on our multi-layer switch. Now when I go back to the PC and ping across the VLAN, it should work. Now I recommend you do this lab, same with all your other labs, over and over and over again until you're comfortable with all the configuration commands.